here to talk about my first appearance in court. And if you're not a lawyer, you might think it's just like showing my face in court or just sitting for a case. No, I mean like appearing on behalf of someone. So if you had been keeping up with me in my previous videos, you would notice that I wasn't practicing in a law firm that had anything to do with litigation. It was more of corporate law, paperwork, compliances and all of that. Someone asked me to make a video on what it felt like to be a corporate lawyer. I will do that in my next video. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about my first day as a litigation lawyer. So I feel like I have tips because I made a lot of mistakes. I have tips that will aid you make to help make your first day less troublesome, and avoid the mistakes that I made. So my first tip will be to let go of your fear and your anxiety. Fear and anxiety is like a bane to the public. If you're scared, if you're anxious, you're likely going to make mistakes or go mute in front of people. So just let go of your fear and your anxiety. You need to be courageous so that you can express yourself. Someone scared can't express himself or herself. So develop the courage and carry your case file to court. And the thing is, even if you don't know what you're saying and you sound like you know what you're saying, people will believe you. Okay, the next point would be to know your case in and out. I'm not just talking about reading your statement of claim or your defenses. I'm talking about like knowing the case in total, find out what happened in the last sitting. Was there an adjournment? Had the opposing parties been appearing, or was there a notice of hearing served on them? You need to be really into the case. The thing is, my case, the first case that was given to me was transferred to another court, and I was sitting in the wrong court while my case was going on in another court. Do you want to make that mistake? And the thing is, usually when you get a case file and you read a file, the proceedings of each sitting is usually recorded in the case file, and the last person that handled the case file forgot to write that the case had been transferred to another court. So, but the thing is, luckily, the court wasn't sitting, and I just kept asking for the court list. Like, where's the court list? And they're like, it's coming. And I just strolled around and just entered the court. Another court, there hadn't really been sitting, but the registrar was giving them some information, and then I just looked at their court list, and I'm like, isn't this my case? So I had to run, get my bag, and then move to another court. So the thing is, you need to study the case file so that you wouldn't be aloof. Apart from studying the statement of claim or the defendant's defense, or know what is the next motion that is being applied for, what is the next thing. And the only thing that can help you is if you study the case file properly. My next point will be to ask questions. In my place, they say, it means someone that asks questions just never gets lost. Just per se, if I just asked another lawyer, please tell me the details of this case, I would have not made the mistakes that I made. So ask questions, okay? Ask questions. Ask the people that perhaps handled the case before, or you can ask more than one person a question, okay? So that you can get as many opinions as you can, and then filter and then do as you wish. You get me? Two has always been better than one. So most of the times, judges just want to engage you. They want to know really if you know why you're in court. So apart from studying your case and knowing what you're going for, or I'm going to move a motion in court, or I'm going to do this in court, do you know the topic that you're going there for? Do you know what, if I was in court and the judge said, explain what garnishee proceeding is, and she was biting her tongue, my lord, garnishee proceeding is, so apart from knowing the case, know the aspect of go back to your textbook, read about it, ask yourself, if it's a divorce matter, what is a divorce? Okay, if it's assault, what is assault? If it's battery, what is battery? If it's rape, what is rape? So the judge sometimes wants to engage you and he keep throwing questions at you, and the only way you can actually persuade the court that you actually know what you're doing and show respect for yourself is if you can answer those questions. The next point would be to be humble and accepting of advice or hints from the judge or the court. Now this comes in two phases. The first one is when you do not know. Okay, let's say the court asks you something and you do not know. Please humbly say something like, I wish, or I seek to, or I pray to be guided by the court. You get me? Just be humble and be accepting that you don't know and you seek to be guided by the court. And the first instance is if you do not know. Now, if you know, let's say you think the judge is erring and the judge is trying to correct you, please accept it humbly. Just accept it humbly. You could sort it out later on with the registrar, or what I'm trying to say is never be the lawyer that says I put it to you to a judge. Please do not ever put it to a judge, because as much as you think a judge does not know a particular thing, these people sit on cases every day while you don't really appear for cases every day. So you're not always in court. These people are always in court. So the wealth of experience and things they've seen, and they're actually very conversant with practice, because sometimes practice and the law differ. What they say in law could really differ from the actual practice of procedures in court. And these people sit in court every day. They sit on cases every day as opposed to you. So if you think you know the law, these people know the practice. And if you feel you want to put it to them, they will really bring your reputation down in court. So be very humble and accepting of hints from the judge of the court. The point will be to know your court or know your judge. Some judges like things done in a peculiar way or unique way, or so know the judge and know the court. And how you do this is by either asking your colleagues around you, per se a lawyer around you. You can ask a lawyer, have you been in this court before? What is the procedure like? What does the judge like, or what does the judge dislike? If you're brave enough, you can ask the registrar. But most of the time, if you come early to court and you're seated, the registrar usually tells you what the judge likes. So in my case, I made a mistake. What did I do? I announced an appearance. Usually you announce appearance for whoever it is that is appearing with you. But in my case, the judge just wanted a particular lawyer for a particular case based on COVID protocols. So the thing is, I was lounging in another court, like I told you, while my case was to be heard in another court. So the registrar had already given the details as to what the judge likes or what the judge dislikes. So I was already late for that information. So what I want to say is know your court, know your judge, know what the judge likes and know what the judge dislikes. Because if you cross over to the part where the judge dislikes something, there's every possibility he or she is going to be somehow to your case and to your. Just know your court and know your judge.